starring in this year, Karim Aïnouz. The film is called Firebrand. We do not know when the film is going to be released in France, but of course it will be released soon. We have Karim Aïnouz and also the crew from the film Firebrand. It was screened last night in competition. So what's the film all about? Well, it's the story of a Queen of England, Queen Catherine Parr. She was one of the 6 wives of Henry VIII. He earned himself the nickname Bluebeard, and he lived and reigned, well, he reigned in England between 1509 and 1547. And the film talks about his very difficult relationships with women. Catherine Parr really was fighting for her life. She wanted to survive in the king's court. It's a film with some fascinating actors and actresses. To start with Jude Law, for example. He's a male lead. So Karim Aïnouz has Brazilian nationality. He's the guy with the beard. Then there's Alicia Vikander, who plays the leading lady. She's to the right, the lady to the right of our screen there, in the middle there. We've got Jude Law, also Sam Riley, Junia Rees, who is the young actress to the far left of the group there. Anne-Marie Kidd and Patrick Buckley. So Karim Aïnouz has Brazilian nationality, although he was born in Algeria. He's a very experienced and experimental filmmaker. He works a lot with museums, for example, and creates installations. But he is a filmmaker. And he's quite regular here in France. Well, he hasn't been many times. He's been a couple of times, in fact. The last time was in 2019 for a film which went really down really well with the critics. And that film is called The Invisible Life of Eurydice Guzmão. And it won the Un Certain Regard Prize when it came to Cannes. He also came in 2002 with a film which is called Madame Seta. That was in Un Certain Regard also. So it's the first time for Karim Aïnouz to be in competition at the film festival. He's competing for the Golden Palm. The actors and actresses are competing for the Best Actor and Actresses prizes. And there's the screenwriter, of course, who could compete for the Best Screenplay. This film has been rather well received by the press. The articles in France are very, very positive. The Figaro, for example, says it's a very compelling historical illustration. So all about Henry VIII, played by Jude Law. You can't recognize the man with all of his makeup and padding, because he's a very fat man on the screen. Liberation says it's a good film. Every time the king, the psychopathic king, comes onto the screen, you would think of a mafia film. Jude Law is very ill and very in a bad mood the whole time, and he plays it very convincingly, and he has the strange habit of putting his finger into people's mouths, says that newspaper. We're more used to seeing him play the heartthrob in films such as the Budapest Hotel or Aviator or The Great Gatsby. So it's quite amazing to see him transform into an ugly, fat and very ill old king. The Le Monde says that this period piece is just a repetition of things we've seen in the past, and doesn't really bring very much to the table. So here on the screen you can see the director with the 2 lead roles. We've got Alicia Vikander there. It is to be noted that she has already acted in some major films. She acted in Danish Girl by Tom Hooper. That was in 2015, and she got the Oscar for the Best Supporting Actress in that. She also played the role of well, she was of Lara Croft in Tomb Raider 2018, and she was in Jason Bourne by Paul Greengrass. That was in 2016. She was in Cannes last year with Olivier Assayas, who brought a series called Irma Vep. But this time she's playing Catherine Parr, a queen of England, one of the wives of Henry VIII. And her challenge is to survive in that court. Henry VIII is known for two things, first of all, for his many wives. He divorced some, he had some beheaded also. But he's also known because he separated England from the papacy. This was in 1534, so he gave rise to the Church of England. Henry VIII's obsession is to have a male heir to the throne. Many of his wives didn't give him a male heir, and so he was striving to have an heir. So he collected a whole series of wives in the hope of getting a male heir. So on the screen we have Henry VIII, i.e. Jude Law, and Queen Catherine, Alicia Vikander. Jude Law there is a great attraction for the photographers there, and especially because it's a lovely sunny day here today. This film had a 9-minute standing ovation at the end of its world premiere screening. It doesn't mean that they're going to get any palms, but it's at least the longest standing ovation that we've had so far for a film in competition. The Scorsese film got 8 minutes for its standing ovation, but this one, which is not in competition, but this one in competition got 9 minutes. Jude Law is very well known for the talented Mr. Ripley, Blueberry Night by Wong Kar-wai also, to name but two. And in this film, he brings to mind an Orson Welles type of character, transforming himself. For example, in the Othello, where he changes into a kind of monstery type of character, whereas here we have Alicia Vikander on screen. She plays the role of one of the wives of Henry VIII. It is the leading role in the film. Her acting and her role is all in delicate nuances and tones, which is quite a contrast to the ogre-like Henry VIII. Alicia Vikander starred in Danish Girl. It was a love story between Gerd Wegener and Lily Elbe. And she was known as the first person who was known to have had a sex change operation. That was back in 1930. The Cannes Film Festival is a reminder of so many excellent films in the past. We can check them all out. Here on the screen now we have Karim Aïnouz, of Brazilian nationality. He started his career as an assistant, a casting assistant, then an editing assistant, working for another director who's been screened in Cannes this year, and that's Todd Haynes. He worked on the film Poison, dating from 1991. He's also an artist, a visual artist. He's worked on a lot of installations for museums, and he has been displayed at the Whitney White Museum of American Art in New York and in Sao Paulo, because he is of Brazilian nationality. He was in the jury for for the Cine Foundation and for the Shorts section here in Cannes in 2012. Sam Riley is now on your screen. He plays the role of a member of the King's Court, the brother of one of Henry VIII's former wives, who left some children behind when she was beheaded, and his character, Thomas Seymour, is quite close to the current Queen, Queen Catherine Parr. So we are familiar with him from the film On the Road by Walter Salles, which was in competition in 2012 here in Cannes. The story there was a trainee writer from New York. His father died, and he met a young person who'd just been let out of prison, and the story starts from there. There's another of the actresses in here, Junia Rees. I don't know if she's going to have her photo taken. Perhaps we'll catch a glimpse of her. She's got